Costa Rica, $5.41. Costa Rica rounds out the top 10 with a Big Mac price of $5.41 in 2023. Costa Rica is known for its stable economy and relatively high cost of living compared to other Central American nations. The country has a well-developed tourism industry, and areas frequented by tourists tend to have higher prices for goods and services, including fast food. Costa Rica's reliance on imported goods and its strong currency, the Costa Rican colon, also play a role in the higher cost of a Big Mac. Although the price is lower than in some European and Scandinavian countries, it is still relatively high for the region, reflecting Costa Rica's stable and growing economy. Sri Lanka, $5.56. In ninth place is Sri Lanka, where a Big Mac costs $5.56 in 2023. Despite being a developing country, the price of a Big Mac in Sri Lanka is relatively high compared to many other countries at similar income levels. This is largely due to the country's reliance on imports for many raw materials, including food products, which drives up prices. The Sri Lankan rupee has faced significant challenges in recent years, including inflation and currency depreciation, which has increased the cost of imported goods. In addition, fast food in Sri Lanka is often considered a luxury, contributing to its higher price relative to other items. Although Sri Lanka's economy is developing, the cost of living in certain urban areas, like Colombo, can be surprisingly high, contributing to the elevated price of a Big Mac. United States of America, $5.58. The United States ranks 8th, with a Big Mac costing $5.58 in 2023. As the birthplace of the Big Mac and McDonald's itself, it may seem surprising that the price is lower than in many other developed nations. However, the U.S. has a highly competitive fast food industry, which helps keep prices relatively low despite rising inflation. The U.S. dollar is strong, but the country's vast agricultural sector allows for cheaper domestic production of key ingredients, such as beef and bread. Additionally, the sheer scale of McDonald's operations in the U.S. allows for greater efficiency and lower prices at the consumer level. While inflation and rising labor costs have pushed up the price slightly in recent years, the U.S. remains one of the more affordable places to enjoy a Big Mac compared to countries in Europe or Scandinavia. Denmark, $5.65. In seventh place is Denmark, where a Big Mac costs $5.65 in 2023. Denmark is well known for its high quality of life, and this is reflected in the cost of goods and services. The Danish krone is relatively strong, and high wages are a significant factor behind the expensive price of fast food. In addition to high wages, Denmark has some of the highest taxes in the world, which directly impacts the price of consumer goods, including a Big Mac. Like other Scandinavian countries, Denmark has a well-established welfare system, which, while beneficial to citizens, does contribute to higher operational costs for businesses. This combination of high wages, taxes, and the cost of living makes Denmark one of the more expensive places for fast food in the world. Sweden, $5.74. Sweden ranks 6th on the list, with a Big Mac costing $5.74 in 2023. Known for its high standard of living and well-developed economy, Sweden consistently ranks among the more expensive countries for consumer goods. One of the main reasons behind this is the country's strong currency, the Swedish krona, which has remained relatively stable against the euro and the dollar. Sweden's high wages and extensive social welfare systems also drive up the cost of goods and services, including fast food. Although Sweden imports many of its raw materials, the country has stringent regulations around food production and distribution, which can also increase costs. Despite the high price, Sweden remains a strong economy, and the cost of a Big Mac here is a reflection of that. European Union, $5.82. The European Union as a whole ranks 5th, with the average price of a Big Mac at $5.82 in 2023. This price reflects the economic diversity of the region, with wealthier member states like Germany and France having higher prices, while Eastern European countries tend to have lower prices. The euro, as the common currency for most of the EU, is relatively strong, which means prices for goods like fast food are generally on the higher side. In countries with higher wages and a higher cost of living, such as Germany, France, and the Netherlands, Big Mac prices tend to be closer to the top end of the spectrum. On the other hand, in nations with lower living costs, such as Bulgaria and Romania, the price is significantly lower, but the overall average brings the EU to this rank. Argentina, $5.99. Argentina is in fourth place, with a Big Mac priced at $5.99 in 2023. Despite the country's long-standing economic challenges, including high inflation and currency devaluation, the Big Mac remains relatively expensive. One of the reasons for this is Argentina's complicated economic policies, which often result in fluctuating food prices and supply chain disruptions. The Argentine peso has been subject to rapid inflation, which affects the price of all goods, including fast food. Interestingly, despite these challenges, Argentina has a strong agricultural sector, which supplies many of the raw ingredients needed for fast food like beef and bread. However, government intervention in the economy, particularly through price controls and taxes, contributes to the elevated cost of a Big Mac in the country. Uruguay, $6.86. Uruguay ranks third on the list, with a Big Mac costing $6.86 in 2023. This South American country has seen a significant rise in the price of goods and services in recent years, including food products. Uruguay's economy is one of the most stable in South America, and the country has a relatively high standard of living compared to its regional peers. One of the reasons behind the high price of a Big Mac is the country's reliance on imports for many food ingredients, which increases costs. In addition, Uruguay's strong currency, the Uruguayan peso, and higher wages contribute to the overall price inflation. Fast food, though relatively cheaper than fine dining, still remains costly for the average consumer in Uruguay, especially when compared to neighboring countries like Argentina and Brazil. Norway, $6.92. Coming in at second place is Norway, where a Big Mac costs $6.92 in 2023. Norway's high standard of living and strong economy are key reasons behind the expensive price tag. Like Switzerland, Norway has high wages, which pushes up the cost of labor and, in turn, the price of consumer goods, including fast food. Norway's robust welfare system, high taxes, and relatively isolated location in Scandinavia also contribute to the increased price of goods. The Norwegian krone is a relatively strong currency, particularly when compared to many of its European neighbors, which further drives up the price of imported goods like certain food ingredients. Additionally, Norway has a strict regulatory environment, which includes higher taxes on food products, leading to a more expensive Big Mac. Switzerland, $7.73. In 2023, Switzerland takes the top spot with the most expensive Big Mac in the world, priced at a staggering $7.73. The Swiss economy is well known for its high wages and strong currency, particularly the Swiss franc, which consistently ranks as one of the most valuable currencies in the world. This robust currency, along with the high cost of living in Switzerland, contributes significantly to the elevated price of a Big Mac. The high price doesn't just reflect the cost of ingredients, but also factors in labor, rent, and other operational costs that are considerably higher in Switzerland compared to many other countries. Switzerland's central location in Europe and its reputation for being a financial powerhouse also make goods and services, including fast food, more expensive. Although the price is steep, it's not surprising given the country's overall economic structure and purchasing power. In previous years, Switzerland has often found itself at or near the top of the Big Mac Index, which is a testament to its stable and strong economy.